What is this something? With these words I say and write, I do not believe I am wrong in saying I could be. I could be wrong. And this I proffer words oft sent to me, for all our coffers empty, to make room for the areas in which I could improve, and I as a reflection of you, forsooth, to soothe the savage breast, this primitive heart that beats my chest into submission, I surrender, I yield the remainder of my time here on earth, in all the lands of bones and paperwork, to appeal to my betters. I could, I'm sure, do better. I could, I know, do better. Head in hands, laden heavy, I wish I could sometimes replace this skull that I too often confuse for a cage that frames my thoughts, a maze labyrinthian and a maze Promethean, aflame to contemplate, instead exchange for all these lands which today seem so heavy. I wish I could hold the same your hands that must feel so heavy with the weight of all you must attend and tend to, all that has been claimed and named, found beneath flag and century, and in dismay I say I could. With all these complaints I've chained together, justified and turned to lies, and truth yet still remains. Couldn't I, then, with all my faults fettered, even through some imprisoned window slit, under which I sit, my mind a mix of guarded bars and stormy weather, couldn't I, even then, watch the sky falling, and choose to place upon some streaking star that tears the night with light and brilliance the child in me still wild and free, to place a wish within its burning sprint, a prayer for the marathon by which we feel encumbered, the great lumbering distance we must daily journey? Couldn't I, and I as you are me, couldn't we still see, though it is miles and miles and miles from us, at some impossible distance, almost out of reach, see that burning world, shooting stars like bullets ring? Couldn't we place upon its fire a gift of a wish, and like a child, I wish I could do better with every brick and whip and long lost temper, do better. But isn't that the gift? To know that we must grow and die and toil and try, and thus welcome in each cold December an ancient plight, to hold the light, long cold the night, to feel the frost, a gift, the shaking stride persists. Isn't this the gift at all, that all of us even ever exist to feel and wish our future warmer hearts remembered? Isn't this evidence of better? The fact that we recognize, with or without the shooting stars that glint the sky, with or without the gods we pray yield replies, a sign of something better, that we know it could be better. Doesn't this mean we have not forgotten how to dream of what could be? And doesn't this mean we have not forgotten dreams or what hopes we learn to bring into our hands and hold and dance and sing? We can do better. They say that hope is as hollow as fear. Yes, and I believe that in that hollow is just space enough, place enough to keep a promise we are strong enough to make, though we may break and mend again, a promise that it is our responsibility to dream of better and come to trust, space enough to alight eternity and leave the sky and gods behind if we must, and be grounded here in this labor of reality with you as I do better, do better, do better. We are at alarming speeds doing better. Look how far we come, and look at the strength it takes that we are learning to stay in it and say how we have come this way, honestly, how unjustly cruel, and still pursue some golden clue like first light of day, that all of this is not for naught, and therefore thus improved. Our ancestors are so very proud of us, which is hard to see in the trenches of day to day. They are proud of the promise that we make and the risks that we take and the highest stakes, the magnitude of which we pursue. Even with disappointment roiling in daily frailty veiled by headlines, even with flags and tears and gas and mass and fears for years that we have amassed and overwhelmed and overcast, we find a ray that guides and clears a path. Our ancestors are so very proud of us, you and I, because like them, we must, you and I, walk towards this horizon line. For all that lives and thrives, for all that was sacrificed and died, for all that presses this test of time, grateful, yes, yet unsatisfied, you and I will work and rest and rise and make this something better.